Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another NFL Week Predictions. It is Week 9. Last week was a very poor performance. I went 6 of 10. Yeah, it wasn't great. It really wasn't. I'm hoping I can bounce back this week. And for this week, we have 4 teams on by: the Niners, Lions, Jags, and the Broncos. All right, so let's get into predictions right away. For Thursday night football, we have the Tennessee Titans taking on the Steelers. Tennessee, Will Levis looked great. He looked amazing. And I really see him taking the one on this one because the Steelers not looking so great. I'm not really impressed. See them taking another loss here. And let's move on. All right, so the next game we have is being played in Germany, which could be a factor. We have the Miami Dolphins taking on the Kansas Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs, but it doesn't matter. And I honestly have the Chiefs taking this one. Even though they lost to the Broncos last week, I really see them bouncing back. I don't see them losing 2 in a row. And Miami's also allergic to winning good teams. And so next week, we have the Vikings taking on the Falcons. So, I know Kirk got hurt, but I am still going to take the Vikings. They have Josh Dobbs, I believe. And Atlanta, I'm just not confident in Ritter. Now, if Heineke plays, I could definitely see them winning. This could definitely go either way. It's not like a crazy one-sided game. And I could definitely see Atlanta taking this in a world. But I am going to take the Vikings on this one. And so the next game we have is the Cardinals taking on the Browns. So for this game, it's either Clayton Tune or Kyler Murray. From what I'm seeing, it looks like I'm thinking leaning towards Clayton Tune, so I'm gonna go and do this in the assumption that Clayton Tune is starting, and I think he's gonna do great. For some reason, rookie quarterbacks that are just randomly starting in the season seem to be doing good, even though it's small sample size. I am going to take him to have a good game and give them a win over the Browns. The Browns offense hasn't looked too good anyway. So yeah, taking the cards on that one. And so next week, we have the Rams taking on the Packers. Rams. Ooh, that was rough. Yeah. They're taking on the Packers, which skipped the first half. They pick the skip button and they don't play. They don't play in the first half. They wait till the second half. But despite that, I still have the Packers winning. Because if you go back, some of the games, it does look like the Rams don't really play in the first half either. And I really see this being a good bounce back for Green Bay. So I'm taking the Packers for this one. Next game we have is the Commanders taking on the Patriots. Now for the Patriots, tough loss against Miami. It was kind of expected, but it's still a tough loss. And the Commanders, well, I'm confident that they can get the win this week. I know it was a tough loss against the Eagles, and I really see them bouncing back here. Sam Howell looked amazing, but for some reason the Commanders just look good against the Eagles, no matter when they play them. It's like the Browns versus the Bengals. For some reason, the Browns used to play like really good, and they still do. Like they just for some reason play good against them. It's weird, but I do have the Commanders for this one. Next game we have is the Bears taking on the Saints. Bears, bad pick for me last week. They got crushed by the Chargers. Badgett didn't look nearly as good. Saints had a good game last week, so that means they're going to have a crap game this week. So by that logic, I'm going to take the Bears. Purely on nothing else other than one team did good, one team did bad. I'm thinking these teams are so inconsistent. The other's going to do good, the other's going to do bad. And so for the next game, we have the Seahawks taking on the Ravens. So for the Seahawks, barely edging out a win against the Browns. Geno Smith is still, he's like teetering on this tough edge. And they're playing a really good Baltimore team. And if Baltimore shows up, they can crush the Seahawks. And I don't see them crushing, but I am going to pick them to win. So yeah, I'm taking the Ravens. And next week we have is the Buccaneers taking on the Texans. Texans taking a tough loss against the winless Panthers. Yeah, that was rough. I mean, it's kind of close, but still, it was rough. And the Bucks barely losing to the Bills. Barely. Both teams really want to get a win here. I feel like the Bucks might need it a little more, but I do have the Texans taking the win here. I think CJ Stroud's going to have a bounce back and he's going to do great. And yeah, it feels like kind of like the Bucks are setting into what they were supposed to be, what they were predicted to be, so I really don't see them winning. So next, we have the Colts taking on the Panthers. Panthers getting their first win of the season. Finally. Took a while. And they're taking on the Colts, which last game was rough. Ooh. This game is really going to depend on how good the team plays. I know, shocker. I think it's going to be focused on how good the offense plays. More specifically, like Jonathan Taylor and Gardner Minshew. But I do have the Colts taking this one. I have the defense being able to keep Carolina in check, prevent them from scoring too many points, and I have Gardner Minshew having an all right game, and the run game being pretty all right to make up for whatever he loses. And for next week, we have the Giants taking on the Raiders. Raiders last week, tough loss against the Lions. I picked them. I sudden picked. I shouldn't have sudden picked. But this game, I am going to actually pick the Raiders. No, that last game did count, by the way. I am going to actually pick the Raiders. The Giants did not look good last week. Negative passing yards. Yeah. So let's just move on. Next week we have the Cowboys taking on the Eagles. I am going to take this as an upset. I am going to take the Cowboys to upset the Eagles. I know that's kind of a surprise. I just see it. I see it. It's a gut feeling, and that's pretty much the only reason I'm taking it. It's a gut feeling that the Cowboys beat the Eagles. All right, moving on to Sunday Night Football. I think this is going to be a good game. I really think this is going to be a good game. Bills taking on the Bengals. The Bills finally getting on track with the game. Bills fans, you can breathe a sigh of relief because it looks like maybe you're getting on the right track. And the Bengals beating the Niners, looking great. Slow start, they usually do anyway, and they're building up. But I see the Bills winning this one. I think they're gonna come back, and Cincinnati, I think they might underestimate the Bills just a little bit, and I feel like the Bills are going to narrowly win this one. I think it's going to be a pretty close game, but I do have the Bills winning. All right, for the last game, Monday Night Football, the Chargers taking on the Jets. And this game, I don't think is going to be good. I don't think this is going to be good. Jets defense, I think, is going to stop Herbert from getting too crazy. I do think he still has some production. And I don't see the Jets offense being that productive, but I do see them barely scoring just a little bit more points than the Chargers. So for that reason, I have the Chargers winning this game. That will do it for my predictions of Week 9. Let me know if you change any of my picks. My picks are terrible. Tell me. My picks are great. Tell me. My picks are okay. Tell me.